I'm about to go chopper mode. Have them falling down like it is dominoes. I be up in your bitch like a stop and go. You ain't fucking with me, better stop it, bro. You can try, but come up a swing and a miss. Party, fuck it, I'm bringing a fifth. The rhymes you bring again is more duty than dookie, you stick it in. This ain't a movie, I'm talking real life. My dividends, they looking real nice. Y'all about to pay a real price, cause you rappers are smaller than field mice. I'm a giant, call me Goliath. Fuck with the prizes, bitch, I'm defying it. Me, I'm just vibing, watching these liars spinning in circles like rotating tires. This what I do when I don't need to flex. Spitting these rhymes that leave you perplexed. Coming at me, I don't think I suggest, cause I rip the stripes right off of your chest. I leave it, the powers the beat, I devour the beat, I can scour you free. I tower with ease and you sour, so give me an hour, I'll leave you a flower that weeps. Look at you geeks, look at you nerds, chasing the clout, that shit is absurd. You step on my turf and I'll show you my purpose, we putting in work till the fucking shit hurts. Y'all are some clowns, y'all are some losers, little pill popping drug users. Get amused first, boy them views hurt, motherfuckers could never accrue.
Yo, I'm the best. Yo, yo, let me tell you what it is. Yo, right. You already know, yeah, I ain't gotta tell you, but I'ma tell you anyway. Let's go. Rolling neck and wild, blowing black and mild, smoking my weed in a little bit. You finna quit like a silly bitch, I'ma show you what the business is. Me and this is taking over like the cocaine and the baking soda in my own lane. Tryna make a quota and I won't change, cause I'm staying focused, I done quit drinking. But I'm still smoking, got a big bank, so your bitch open, got a sick chain. So my shit frozen while I'm getting changed. You get sleep tokens, I am the best and I feel like I'm better than I've ever been in my life. Really, I gotta give all of the credit to God, I'm a beautiful wife. I finally feel like I'm doing it right, not that I was ever doing it wrong. I get on the stage and they give it a mic, then I sing one of my beautiful songs. Show and prove is the movement we own, cause everything that we say and we do, we put all of our pain in this music and get a little bit of paper to do. If you thinking we ain't, then you stupid. That kind of thinking is foolish. Sitting at home banging on your phone, knowing you ain't gonna do shit. I'm feeling like a blimp. R.I.P. to the motherfucking pimp. Let's go. I'm the best. 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 I'm the best.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Put my gang up on my back, I'm down to ride no matter what. If you riding with a stick up in my whip, you better buck. If you screaming team too loud, and ain't 1,000 better too. Cause bro might blick you down, that's just his way of showing love. Bro, I promise, before we heard of Giannis, we was bout them bucks. I'm too tall to fuck my bitch up in the coupe, I bought a truck. Pockets full of dirty money, got this shit up out the mud. Ain't gotta worry about no place, I rubber on me, keep it glove. Rep my section in this bitch, I brought them killers in the club. I'm connected in your city, cause I really in the plug. If you really tryna cop, then come and shop and spin a dub. Let them birdies take a bath, I'm picking feathers out the tub. It's crystal clear, I'm not a scrub. TLC outside the club, stupid fresh like it's my prime, and best believe I got my gun. I've been hustling since a shorty selling candy, cutting lines. I was born to be a baller, mama shoulda named me Brian. Niggas tweaking, tryna speak on me, so gon' release these demons. Put your name up on the pack and turn the threats, you know we chief. My team too loud up in this bitch, I'm tryna bust a bitch's speak. A nigga run off with my back when he get clapped, just when we eat. Put my gang up on my back, I'm down to ride no matter what. If you riding with a stick up in my whip, you better buck. If you screaming team too loud, and ain't 1,000 better do. Cause bro might blick you down, it's just his way of showing love. Bro, I promise, before we heard of Giannis, we was bout them bucks. I'm too tall to fuck my bitch up in the coupe, I bought a truck. Pockets full of dirty money, got this shit up out the mud. Ain't gotta worry about no prince, that rubber on me, keep it glove.
MTP and his team too loud, two demons on a feature now. Look at these haters, they making a frown, and do not make moves unless we do allow it. Better push them back, cause they finna fall flat when I make them all crap from the fucking ball back. What you gonna call that? Couldn't get a call back when I wasn't all that, now they better fall back. Got the money in the bag, got them packing it up. Look at the stats, boy, I'm racking it up. And they mad as fuck that they couldn't get the greenbacks like I can, no passing a buck. Shout out to Hidden, we got the momentum. Now listen, you motherfuckers are not winning, I'm ill with it, bitch, I'm killing this shit. This pack that I bought right here, finna flip. All about the cash flow, stack that shit up. Get in my way, then your ass get lit up. The 4-5 lives and a mask getting hit up. Hands to the sky, quit slouching, sit up. Everyone wanted, but nobody got the balls to say it straight to my face. And the second they do that, I'm still here to prove that can nobody step in my place.
Put my gang up on my back, I'm down to ride no matter what. If you riding with a stick up in my whip, you better buck. If you screaming team too loud, and ain't 1,000 better too. Cause no bro might blick you down, it's just his way of showing love. Bro, I promise, before we heard of Giannis, we was back them bucks. I'm too tired to fuck my bitch up in the coupe, I bought a truck. Pockets full of dirty money, got this shit up out the mud. Ain't gotta worry about no prince that rubber on me, keep a glove.
What up, y'all? What up, what up, what up? Appreciate y'all stopping in. Hey, look, check this out. Tonight, we are going to be interviewing Sarah Stevens, a local songwriter and singer. So without further ado, I'm going to bring her up. Sarah, what up?
Hello.
So why don't you tell the audience a little bit about yourself and some of the stuff, you know, you go through on a day-to-day basis and what brought you here?
Well, my name is Sarah Stevens. I am from Chillicothe, Ohio, born and raised. I'm 37 years old as of December 28th, 88 baby. I am a counselor, behavioral health. I do a little bit of both. So I'm a substance use disorder counselor and I'm behavioral health specialist, but right now I'm currently a car salesman, and I like doing it. So I like to interact with people. Sometimes you get burnt out working in recovery and you got to go somewhere else, and what better way to help people than, you know, to at least give them a good time at the car lot.
All right. Now, so you say a substance abuse counselor, is that something you went like and got a degree for, or is that something?
No, certifications. So okay. We go through certifications and we earn those. We earn those with credit hours. So okay. Time, a lot of time, a lot of tests. You pass those tests. Those tests.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were finished.
You go through. You pass those tests and you go through state testing, then you go through background checks and all those things. You know, it's not hard to get into it, especially if you are a felon, coming out of recovery yourself, and you want to land somewhere that you know you're safe and you have a safety net. It's a great place, great environment to work for the right company. I'll say that. That's, you know, one of my main things is I've always been an advocate for the people that I serve. And, you know, some places are crooked and some places want to overbill and over-medicate and overpopulate because of numbers and money to keep that place running and the lights on and, you know, all of the other funding they're doing under the table. And then you have the honest people that are out there really trying to make that difference, you know, and then the community and community action and everything comes into play after that with the homelessness. And the reason I got into that was because drugs, man.
I was just going to ask, was there like a personal reason why you decided to do that, or?
Yeah, there, you know, there was. I'm a child. I'm a product of you know, child abuse. You know, how do I say that? How do I say this in a healthy manner? I don't know. I never knew a day without getting beat by my father. So I have a lot of childhood trauma, a lot of childhood issues. You know, good friends that grew up with me know how my life was. You know, and I grew up in a time of society where having short hair and glasses wasn't the greatest effect, because I've always been Sarah. If you can't tell, I've always been me. I never tried to fit in with the crowd. I was always myself, and being myself got me into a lot of fights. Got me into a lot of fights, you know, but I'm not going to say that it wasn't like the whole neighborhood kids too, because like, I'll tell you, you know, even your wife, for example, man, East End feared Kimmy Whitaker, man. You know what I mean? Like, and me and Ronnie, we go ride around our bicycles and something bad would happen. And if my sister wasn't around, we'd go find her. And I swear, you know, I mean, if we even said or uttered those words, that name, you know what I mean? Like, you don't want to fight. You don't want to fight with us or pick on us anymore.
Well, to be fair, that fear still exists. It's just in my household today. So
we've all calmed down a lot. I'll say that. Like we've all, you know, made a real good turn. But you know, I was a product of that. You know what I mean? So that leading into, you know, I started singing at an early age, and when my dad found out I could sing, we were still living with my father at that point. My mother hadn't left him yet, and I became no longer a child, but I became a workhorse. I became a means of money for my father through my voice. But I loved singing at the time, so I didn't care. You know, I was only 12 years old, and got put in a professional setting where I'm opening for big acts and meeting famous people, shoved into outfits, makeup thrown on my face, and shoved on a stage to sing. And my dad reaped the rewards of that, you know, with the money. And the income. I became an income to him until finally one day, you know, my mom built up the courage and left. And ever since that day, I've been singing for myself. And, you know, hardship didn't stop after that. As soon as we left, my mom got diagnosed with breast cancer. I was 14 going into high school as a freshman in high school. I knew my dad had pain pills. I knew my dad had pain patches. I knew my dad had real Oxycontin back then. And the cycle started early for me. I became a product of, oh, I'm going to go steal dad's stuff and sell it to the older kids at school so I can make money so we have rent and we have food because mom's sick. And then my mom, you know, got with my stepdad, and I didn't have to do that anymore, but I was already in it. You know, I was already hanging out with the older people. I was already hanging out with the older kids. I was already smoking marijuana, you know, and then a marijuana led into a Percocet, and it was off to the races, man.
Do you think having those ties and those memories, like growing up that way and to where you, like, is there any regret, I guess?
No regrets. It's all correlation, you know, becoming a counselor and learning how my brain worked from the inside out without somebody else telling me or trying to teach me was really the eye-opening and awakening moment for me. I saw my pattern. I saw why I turned into the person that I turned into. And it all correlates and stimulates from the brain. It's the way that our brains work and our brains are wired. And for me, I have both types of ADHD. Mind you, I am going to have PTSD from childhood trauma, along other things. I actually have social phobia. I'm labeled with a social phobia, but I can get out here and sing in front of thousands of people, which makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah,
you know.
Wow.
But if you let me stay in the house for a month at a time, I'll stay in there. You know, if you gave me the opportunity to say, here you go, just go do whatever you want, I would. In my heart, I am a nomad. And I think I always will be. But, you know, the correlation started, you know, I started using drugs to not feel anything or remember my childhood, you know, and detach from my mom having cancer a little bit. You know, I was young, you know, smoking a little pot, everybody was doing it, so it was okay. And there were kids younger than me smoking way before I ever started. So for me, it was no other thing than something on a Friday or a Thursday or a Wednesday night that turned into an everyday thing in high school. And then it just stemmed from there, you know what I mean? And it got so bad, I realized I needed help. And I'm the one that reached out. It wasn't anybody catching me. It wasn't anybody, it wasn't the police getting involved.
I think you reaching out is a very, very big, important step in that recovery process, you know?
Oh yeah. I reached out. I told my mom the truth. I went to OSU to a detox center. I white knuckled it for about 4 months here in Chillicothe and stayed sober. And then one day I was literally at a light at 1 street and Paint Street, and I was going to the lighthouse meeting by Jerry's. And the car passed me, and I had a pocket full of money, and my brain, it wasn't me. Like at that point, my brain switched. It was not Sarah anymore. It was something inside Sarah's brain. And I flipped from that left signal to that right signal so fast. But I remember that day. Specifically, I remember that day because that's the day I relapsed. And that's the last time I relapsed because my parents put me on a plane to Baltimore, Maryland. And my stepdad said, or he told me, he said, you know, you want to play around? You know what I mean? You want to play with the big dogs? Here's a plane ticket to Baltimore, Maryland. Don't come home until you're sober. I got thrown out of a frying pan from Little Chillicothe, Ohio, into Baltimore, Maryland. Lansdowne, 8 minutes from Baltimore Stadium, eight blocks from Cherry Hill apartments that they rap about in the old school raps. You know, I'm right there. And I had to get sober there, man.
Yeah. So how do you like correlate like all these past memories and like the stuff you've went through into your music?
It flows, man. Heartbreak, heartache, anything that I can think of, you know what I mean? My most recent song that I wrote that's sitting on the shelf right now, I wrote it on the first year of my grandmother's, the anniversary of her death, because I was missing her so bad.
Yeah.
But I'd made so many accomplishments in that year that I wanted to share. But who wants to go to a grave site and talk to a stone?
Right.
You know,
I get that.
when you can sing a song and people can feel it, you know. So music helped me. I started writing music when I was super young, and first song I ever wrote was about a girl my first love, you know, and I wrote that song, and it turned out to be a great song. Couple years later, about 5 to 7 years later, I wrote another song, and it became a pretty well-known song as well. And it's just, you know, I have a lot that I've kept, that I have sitting on the shelf that are for me and for me only. And then, of course, I have some that sometimes you got to pay the bills, and, you know, you ghostwrite a song for somebody and they're famous and you're not, and that's okay. Because at least I get to hear my song and my feelings on. I can blast it on the radio, you know.
Now, is that something you do a lot as far as ghostwriting goes, or is that just per demand, I guess?
No, just a few times in my life I've done ghostwriting. I would do it if I lived closer to Nashville or Tennessee, or somewhere where, you know, or where I had a bigger musical connections. I would do it. But, you know, I'll be completely honest. In this town, everybody that plays music drinks and does drugs. And they don't want to show up to practice. They don't want to show up, but they'll show up to the gig because it's free beers all night, you know, people playing, people giving them free beers, you know, and I get it. I understand, but that's not who I am.
Right.
You know, I want to go play I want to go play shows. I want people who are dedicated, and they're not leaving, you know, a bar with $50 in their pocket after, and they're putting the whole $50 back in to get home. Right. I want people leaving with $500, $1,000 each in their pocket, and we're splitting it, and we're all going home. And for that one day, our week of bills might be covered. You know, that's the kind of music I want to do.
If you were to use three descriptive words of Sarah the artist, what 3 words would you use?
Exciting, memorable.
I like that one. I like that one a lot.
And I'm gonna go out on a limb here, but it's pretty accurate. Unhinged.
I like that too.
Because when I get on a stage, you know, and people are and the people in the crowd are into it, man, I'm 110% at it. You know what I mean? And I know how to work that crowd. And, you know, going through this whole thing so far, seeing the amount of people that are reaching out on Facebook and, you know, commenting and things like that, people that I haven't talked to in years, but they remember me singing. And it's all, I miss hearing you sing. I miss seeing you sing. And I was in Columbus yesterday. I was in Easton Mall. You know what I mean? And you know how far away that is from Chillicothe. I was at the Buckle, just going to, you know, get a shirt for my trip. And I had to go up there to pick it up. And my mom was with me. And we walk in the store, and the second we walk in the store, someone screams Sarah Stevens pointing straight at me.
That's an awesome feeling.
And she just says, Sarah Stevens, what are you doing up here? And I'm like, who is this lady? How do I know her? I'm trying to correlate, you know what I mean, everything, because it's so many faces and so many names at this point. I'm trying to be so nice, you know what I mean, just to think, you know, like, oh my God, you know. And it ended up being some woman who'd watched me sing a couple of times in Lancaster, Ohio, at a random small little dive bar that I found to go to one night when I wanted to go sing, and I didn't want to sing in Chillicothe, and I didn't want to drink. Nobody would bother me.
See that word
So
memorable. You just seen it play out in real life right there.
yeah, you know what I mean. So it keeps happening. You know what I mean. Like people keep telling me stories or keep telling me things, and like, and it's brought it to light, and it's really shown like how many people like really are very supportive of the journey after, you know what I mean. I've gone through this whole transition of being, you know, a not so great. I was a good kid to a not so great, you know, teenager, mid adult or adult 20s to I'm celebrating 15 years of sobriety. You know what I mean? Like you know, and it's crazy, you know. But people see the change. I don't talk about it. I be about it. I make my actions speak louder than my words.
Man.
And that I think has really helped me when it comes to rebuilding bridges that I burned in my past. And some of those bridges I've never reconnected, but I've never reconnected because I feel like if people have already seen the change in me and they want to reconnect, and whatever I did to them and I don't remember, they can reach out. I'm here. You know what I mean? Like, and I'll say my sorries, but I probably don't even remember. You know what I mean? And that's the honest truth. You know what I mean? So all the sorries I've needed to say, I've said, except for those who haven't reached out and I haven't remembered, hey, I've wronged you, you know?
Right.
So other than that, you know what I mean? Like I'd say, you know, my life trajectory has went the way it's supposed to go, regardless of the bumps and the speed bumps I've had along the way, man. This is supposed to be my ride. Every part of it.
You know, I've lived in Chillicothe. I'm familiar with the environment there. It's not, once you get sucked into a trap hole like that, it's not very easy to make it out.
No.
So for you to be able to do that and to be where you're at today, I mean, that's like literally like textbook awesome, like type shit you would see like in a movie. You know what I mean?
You just gotta wake up one day and give zero fucks. You know what I mean? And I know that sounds horrible, but like, a big thing also was like, you know, at the end of the day, I have free will.
Yeah.
And that's the most important word I can say. You know what I mean? Especially in these dark times in America and times that we're living in now, you have free will. Yeah, I know you have to go to a job to get the check, to pay the bills, to pay the electricity, you know what I mean? And it sucks. And we're all deflated from that. But we still have free will. We have the free will to change what we don't like about our lives. And if we do it ourselves, we can't be ashamed if we fail or if we do good and succeed. There's nothing to lose if you don't give a fuck anymore.
Right. Yep. And that kind of ties in with something I heard today actually for the first time. And it said something along the lines of, if you're not in control, you're under control. So I don't know, it's pretty cool. So where do you like, what is your ultimate mission within this music stuff? I mean, is there an end game for you? Is there something you're working towards accomplishing? You
know, I really just want to start singing again. You know what I mean? I would love to start making music again. And like I said, here in Chillicothe, the people that are in the industry around here, you know, they're either older, set up, have their thing, you know, don't want a female to look like me to sing country or rock or anything else, or they're young and they can't commit to the bit, you know, They can't commit. And, you know where I live, you know what I mean? And, I'm not rich, you know what I mean? I was lucky to be, you know what I mean, not gifted this house, but you know what I mean? You know, to come to have a home, permanently. And I'm blessed with that. And so, but I don't have room for a studio. I have a 175-pound Great Dane that's a service dog. You know what I mean? He'd tear that sucker up. I don't have closet space to even put a studio in, let alone have someone come over and say, hey, let's jam out in your front room. We don't got enough room. My dog's going to be up your butt the whole time, or trying to eat you. You know what I mean? Or trying to lay on your lap, So, what I want is communication, connection. You know what I mean? I want to build a connection with people again, to where they say, hey, Sarah, I've got a studio, and I know we don't have the same kind of music, but hey, I have this song that, you might be able to write something, too, that might be a chorus. It might be a little riff. It might be something that, is catchy little tune that can grab on, while I'm on stage. And you don't always have to be there, but sometimes it might be cool if you're there and sing it with me. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then, in course of me doing that and helping, another person and another creator, they're like, hey, I can make your music digitally, because I don't know how to do that. I'm a hillbilly from Chillicothe, Ohio. I'm 37 years old, and I ain't trying. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's right. I mean? Like, I live a meaningful life, but I live a simple life, and I'm not techno savvy. But I can run a sound system. Don't get me wrong. You know what I mean? Like, you hand me equipment and say, set this band up, and I can do that. You know what I mean? But you hand me a computer and say, make a song, and I'm gonna laugh at you. Because I have no idea. Absolutely. Right. And that's the difference in the generation where I come from. Of, it was all analog. It was all go in the booth. You know what I mean? One track. You know what I mean? One keys, one track. Mix. One mix is one. Two is your others. Three is your other pitch. You know what I mean? And then you mix those vocals down and mix them together. You know what I mean? I'm old school analog, and that's what I need to move away from. You know what I mean? Is that to transitioning to that, because I love singing. I love it. And if I could make money doing it, I would much rather do that than have a job. You know what I mean? And it's not because I don't want to work. Don't get me wrong. It's right. Because of what I said earlier. Free will.
Amen.
I want to do something that I love. There's no pressure, where somebody doesn't have something holding over my neck and saying, well, if you don't come tomorrow, then you're not going to get a paycheck on Friday. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be free of that and feel what that's like to live like that. Because I used to live like that. But when I lived like that, I was doing bad things.
Yeah.
But,
so I'm going to ask a question I ask everybody. This is like my infamous question right here. What is your biggest flaw in your songwriting process, and what are you actively doing to correct that?
Ooh, I get stuck. I am a bam, it's in my head. I'll write a chorus. I'll write a bridge. I'll write a second chorus, but then I won't have a first verse or a second verse. And I get writer's block, and it'll sit there for a year. And then as I'm driving home, I'll be listening to different kinds of music, and then I'll shut it off, and all of a sudden a little verse will pop in my head, and then I have to keep singing it until I get home to write it down. But now I figured out the voice notes on phones. Yes. So yes. Now I just start singing it on the phone, and then I go home and I write it and see if it correlates. And if it doesn't correlate, I just start flipping the pages to see which one it correlates to or it sounds good with. So I think writer's block would be my most thing, but also, I think the reason that you get writer's block and you lose creativity is that free will. You don't have the freedom to go out and just look at nature or walk through and take a deep breath and not live like, oh man, you know what? The kids are fed. Everything's done for the night and I can chill in my recliner, but I still got to go to work tomorrow. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's 5 o'clock now, and I could take 2 hours and go, ride my motorized bike around, the trail or whatever. But are you really going to get, what you want out of that if you're a creative writer out of just 2 hours when you still have the family pressure at home and you have to go work the next morning?
No, I agree. If you do the same shit, your results are going to be the same every time. You know what I mean? So I do think that is a very good cure for writer's block, is to just go out and experience different things. Reading for me is a big thing with writer's block. If I can't write, I'll try to read something.
Yeah. Yeah. My
So
sister's an author. So my sister gets that, she's got the writing gene, she can write books, but my life's a fucking book. So, you know what I mean? Like, before I die, I'll have her write it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got about 4 minutes of writing in me, 4 to 5 minutes of writing, and, you know, then I'm done out.
What is your most memorable moment or experience that you've had in, let's say, the last 5 years or so?
Ooh, my most memorable moment in the last 5 years? Are you talking music or just life?
Just life. It doesn't have to be just music.
Life. I bought my first vehicle on my own with no help. I bought my truck. I bought it on my 10th on my birthday. On my 10th year of sobriety, because my sober date is my birth date, because it's also the date I was released from prison. Correlation? I don't know. I call it divine intervention. I was sober when I went to prison, and I was sober when I came out of prison, which is the weird dynamic of that. But I ran away to Baltimore to get sober.
In prison?
I was sober in prison. That's why I said that very strongly, because when I was there weren't drugs around like that in the women's prison. And I still have friends that go there that do, you know, all kinds of things to help out the women. And I still have friends there too, of course. And they say it's bad. You know what I mean? It's totally different than what it is before. You know, some of my friends don't even want me to come visit because they're subjected to things that they shouldn't be subjected to as women.
Were you incarcerated? Was it the Marion facility?
I was in Marysville.
Or Marysville.
My parent institution was DCI. They had just made that, like, that year that I went. They had just opened DCI for women. It used to be a men's prison. So they were shipping everybody out that was from Southern Ohio to DCI, everybody. But the one thing I possess is my talent. And also, I have, I'm sure your wife is, so I've been in martial arts since I was 5 years old. I have quite a few different black belts, a few styles of martial arts. So the day that I got to prison, not only did I get accosted by, you know, I was wearing an orange jumpsuit and got off of a bus and was walking into admissions, and there were just prisoners lined up on the fence screaming at me like I was a piece of meat, because I was to them. And I went through, and I remember the whole spiel. I remember everything. I remember the whole, like, first time of being, you know, stripped of all of your decency and feeling inhumane. I remember sitting in a cage with women in a muumuu, and I'll never forget in the day of midsummer, it was so hot in there, and we just stayed in there for hours, and then finally we got to shift and move into actual admissions. And as soon as we got into admissions, we were all allowed to get phone calls to go, you know, to tell our parents we've got there, we've arrived, or people, whoever we love, we've arrived, what our prison number is, and, you know, and so they can set up visitation and get us our essential items like soap and things like that. And I didn't even get that. I got cuffed up and taken straight to the warden's office. And I was confused, and they were like, "Don't worry, we'll get you on a phone call as soon as we get you back." You know what I mean? And I was just being a good, you know, inmate. I was doing what I was supposed to do. I was there to do my time and come home and get my life going again. I had put my life on pause. I called it my mini vacation from life. I didn't have to pay no bills. You know what I mean? I didn't have to do anything. It was a little mini vacation because, you know, I was only finishing my time. And, you know, I remember that vividly, but I remember the warden, she was a black lady. I don't even think she's the warden there anymore. I don't remember her name, but I sat down and they uncuffed me, you know what I mean, while I was sitting in her office, and she was like, she put her hand across the table and introduced herself as the warden. And I shook her hand, and I told her that I was, you know, Sarah Stevens. And I looked down at my badge, and I was like, I'm inmate, you know, I was going, you know, because you're supposed to go by your number. Right. So I was like, I'm inmate 91991. And she's like, you don't have to do that in here. This is your first day here. I just want to let you know you can't get into a fight while you're in my facility. I've read your PSI packet before you got here, and you will be charged and you will serve more time. You're only here to do 11 months. Are there any skills that you have or possess that would make me want to keep you here and help you get through those 11 months and go home and never come back? And I said, yes, ma'am. I said, I can sing, I can play guitar. I said, and I can draw and paint a little bit. And she goes, perfect. We have a place in the lifers dorm. It was called Lincoln Building. We have a place in the art guild for you. We'll move you there in 3 days after you are released from admissions. And I said, okay. So I got released from admissions, and I didn't immediately get into the Lincoln Building. I got put in a different housing unit called RN, and it's like the Shirley Building or the like Rogers Building. It's the same building, but they call them Shirley or Rogers. So I was in Rogers 2, and I get to the bay where I'm supposed to lay down my stuff, and there's a friend there, thank God, and she's not an addict or anything like that. Her name was Samantha Messer. Everybody I think knows her. She was in prison just for arson, and she was in there for a good cause. Like, her dad was cheating on her mom. Her mom just died, so she burnt the house down and watched it burn and got 5 years for it. And she was just there to do her time. You know what I mean? Like, it was, she never done drugs. She never did anything wrong. She's a good person. She's a good person to this day. But thank God I got a bunk right across from her, and she was so excited to see me, and I was so excited to see her. And that next morning, I went out into the yard, and I remember some girl walking up. I don't even know her, have no idea who she is, and I'm sitting with another person I'd met at admissions, and I'm drinking coffee. I'm sitting with her friend because she had been there before, and we're just sitting there and talking. But because I have short hair, if you're talking to a female in a female prison, you're automatically flirting with them. So somebody who's already cuffed up, walking from admission, starts screaming at me that they're getting out in a day or something, and they're gonna whoop my behind, and I just wave it off and laugh, And sure enough, next day I'm walking back from the yard, just like, because it's 100 degrees outside and it's 120 in the building, so you're outside all day, and I don't have no clothes yet. I've only got what they gave me with, state pants, state shirt, and you're just out there sweating your ass off. And I remember someone saying my name, and I just put my hand behind my head to say hi like this, because I just figured it was somebody that knows me, I just kept walking, and I hear my name again. So I turn around, and I just turn slight around, like the eye wink, you know what I mean? Right. And I see somebody that is a lifer, and she's as tall as I am. She's 6 foot tall, and I see her directly behind me. And then all of a sudden I see a fist flying over her shoulder at lightning speed, and it just hits my face. And I'm like, and it didn't hurt. You know what I mean? I was just like, oh shit, someone just hit me in the face. So, I got 1,000 people in front of me moving at a dead pace. Don't get on the grass. Don't touch the grass. In a split second, I had to think, what am I going to do? Because this person's coming around, Erica Rowe, and she's about to, start fighting me. And do I hit her? Don't hit her, Sarah. You're going to go to prison. I was just told this, 28 days ago, So I did what Sarah would do in that situation. She came on, and she came full punch. She came with a 2-piece. And when she connected with the second one, I put her in a headlock with my left arm. I put my right hand in the air, and I just started dragging her to the grass, man. I didn't touch her. I had my hand up the whole time, and I dragged her into the grass as she was punching me in the face, and I'm laughing the whole time. And thousands of women are standing there, and they're screaming, Sarah, why don't you fight back? Sarah, why aren't you hitting her? And I just go, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say. I didn't want to get in trouble, so I just screamed, I don't hit girls. And the next thing I know, here are the COs, you know what I mean, running and vrooming up in their cop cars, their golf carts, with their mace out, and I'm like, fuck, here I'm gonna get maced, you know what I mean? And as soon as they pull up, she stops punching me in the face and pushes me, tries to push me away, but I don't let go of her head until the cops touch us. So when the cops touch us and they disperse, you know what I mean? Like, I put my hands behind my back and everything, and we go in and we go to the sick bay, you know, and we're getting checked out, and they take my cuffs off, and I only have a couple scratches on my hand, and they're like, what's that from? And I'm like, it's probably from her scratching me. I said I didn't touch her, you know. And here come the COs that were, you know, that arrested us and took us there to take us to the hole. And the whole time, the officer, it was a lady officer, her name was Miss King, I won't forget her. She goes, Stevens, why didn't you fight back? I said, because you guys said I get more time for that. And she goes, how many times did she hit you in the face? I was like, I stopped counting at 50. I was laughing too much. I said, is it messed up? I said, don't hurt her or nothing. I said, is my face messed up? Am I going to have a black eye? That was the first thing I asked, was like, am I messed? Like, am I going to look bad? You know? And she just started giggling. She's like, you don't even have a red mark. And I was like, cool. And so then we went to the hole. I got found not guilty, which doesn't happen in prison, and let out. So I spent 11 days in the hole. In the middle of summer, and then got found not guilty, got out. When I got out, I moved straight into the Lincoln building. And then that year I got to open up and sing for Melissa Etheridge, she came to the ORW, and I got to sing with her, not with her, but before her, with one of the lifers guitars. and I got to meet her, and that was so cool. I got to meet Melissa Etheridge in prison, dude. You know what I mean? Like,
it's a wild story.
Yeah.
So
crazy.
Talk a little bit about, because we are running up here on the 45-minute mark. Talk a little bit about this competition you have coming up, and how you came about doing that.
So I actually was in this competition when I was 15. I met a pair of twins, Brittany and Courtney Southard. Of course, you know, Courtney's married now. Her name's Courtney Darling. She's also competing with me. At this event. She's just she lives in Tennessee now, so she's competing in bluegrass instead of competing in the country from Ohio, because she's no longer from Ohio, so she has to do the other events. So I started this when I was 15. I went down the first year. You have to sing in Ohio. The way the competition works is you do a regional competition. And if you place in the top 2 of the regional competition, you get to go to state. And then if you win second and first in state in your category, then you get to go to nationals, which is NACMA, which is in Pigeon Forge, which is what I'm going to. Okay. And if you win that, then you're nationally recognized, you know what I mean, as an award-winning artist, you know what I mean, in country music, you know, you're more likely to get seen or picked up by people and things like that. You know what I mean? Like, there's people in the building. It's very big. It's very large. 50 states are bringing representatives, and then 3 different countries. I think what I've been told is now it's 5 different countries. So, you know, I'm competing against a lot of people. I'm the only female representing Ohio this year. And this year is actually the Legends Tour. So anybody that's won this competition before can come back, compete against me, just like I'm competing against them, and sing.
Cool.
So this is going to be a 20-year gap since I won my last trophy. The reason that I really want to do this, to be completely honest with you, is because I love things to keep memories, because I love memories, because I love looking back on things and remembering that time in my life where it was a great day or a great time or a great event in my life. And those trophies burned up in my parents' house fire, so I don't have any. So I got to go collect a couple more so I get to put them on my mantle, so that way they don't catch on fire.
No, I like that, though. Instead of dwelling on what you don't have anymore, you're like, you know what, fuck it. We're going to go back and we're just going to win it again.
Oh, yeah. And I wrote my 38-year-old friend into doing the same damn thing, because I told her, I said, girl, I ain't going alone. We're about to go win this together. So she's going to go win the bluegrass event, you know what I mean, the bluegrass entertainer of the year and vocalist. And I'm going to go win female entertainer and vocalist of the year for new country music.
Oh, yeah. Well, look, we really, really appreciate you coming up here, and I look forward to having you come back after you win that competition to get that trophy. I am going to try to put you on the spot, though, real quick. Is there something you could sing for us before we end the interview?
I mean, let's see. Let's see. I mean, I could just like start singing something.
Yeah, that's fine.
I think everybody knows that song. Like right now, anyways, it's almost like everyone's favorite song. Let's see, what's that? How's it start? Um,
I'm gonna put you on the big screen for this. So.
well, then I'm gonna get the lyrics.
Uh-oh. Did it freeze? I think it froze. Hang on a sec. She's probably doing something different on the phone, so it might have froze for a sec. What's up, Chance? What's up, K-Dub? 90s. Rock on. Seeing Bree jumped in here. Brookie jumped in here.
All right.
All right, you ready?
I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a shot. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna sing a random one.
Go.
No, this is Olivia Dean. Man, I Need. Looks like we're making up for lost time. No need to spell it out for me. Bossa Nova on all night. It's like a type of alchemy. Introduce me to your best friend. I can come slide right in. A satellite and even that far. I kinda wonder where you are. Already know I can't leave it alone. You're on my mind. Already gave you the time and the place, so don't be shy. Just come be the man I need. Tell me you got something to give. I want it. I kinda like it when you call me wonderful. Every time you're talking is come on, man. I gotta know you're meant to be the man I need. Talk to me. Talk to me.
Okay.
I'm just sitting in the car. I'm literally just chilling in the car. Like I said, like I haven't even warmed up yet.
Well, hey, go kick ass tonight at you got an event. Do you want to
Well, there's Lost Tribe, shout out to them. They supported me. They made a small donation and they invited me to come and sing tonight. Oops, sorry. They invited me to come sing tonight and he just literally texted me and said, "You still coming?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm still coming." Like I told him I was doing this interview, and that I'd be there. But they're a private club, so unfortunately I can't invite everybody out. They are a private MC club. But I can say, donate some coats to them. They do coats for kids drive. Donate some toys. I know it's only March, but shit, you got tax money. Go buy some toys and donate them and drop them off at the MC club. Because I was that kid getting the coats, and I was that kid getting those toys, man. And I'm so grateful that they're supportive of me because like they've always been supportive of me, and I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody in Chillicothe that's donated and helped, and I appreciate you guys, even though you're Chillicothe natives, but you're not, but she is, and y'all ain't from here, and you're not living here no more. You guys you made my trip possible.
Well,
you made my trip actually possible.
I feel like somewhere in the algorithm you were put to come up on my feed for a reason because I was literally
divine intervention, man. Everybody wants to talk about how they so don't believe in God, or like if God was here, why would he do this to us, or why would he do me like that when we get in our dark times? But honestly, if you don't believe, you got to get yourself out of shit. God will be there at the end.
It's I haven't seen you on my news feed, on my Facebook feed in years, a long ass time.
I don't get on Facebook, so it's crazy that I just put it out there and it just hit the ground with like I said, divine intervention, man. It hit the ground with divine intervention, and then just so many strangers showed up and helped, and I'm so grateful for that.
Well, we got nothing but faith in you, Sarah. We know you're going to go kick ass. Again, I look forward to having you back up after you make the trip and run the contest. So I'll definitely get in touch with you. Safe travels, and we'll make sure we keep sharing you out.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
All right, Sarah. See you.
Later.
See ya.
All right, guys. So Sarah, absolutely dope artist. She's gonna go kill it, man. I appreciate you guys for being here. Give me about half an hour, 45. I'll be live and we're gonna jam. Peace.